Hello! Welcome once again to... Well, once again, I'm not sure if that's particularly correct if this is the first one you've seen, but welcome to Band of Badgers. I'm Dave, your Games Master for this campaign. This is the Session 0 of Rise of the Runelords, which is this huge beast of a book. This is published by Paizo. And these pretty little faces you can see here are our players. So, hello everybody!
Hello?
Hey!
Hello!
That was it. Okay. So,
Hello, Games
You wanted
Master.
more?
there we go. So, thank you to all of our supporters and fans. A special thank you also goes to Beadle and Grim, who will be launching a very special Kickstarter at the end of September. You can see the details below. If you're watching this in the future, how did it go? Was it any good? I think so. I've probably got tons of them. But anyway, this is the very start of it. So we hope that this campaign, this adventure, this story that we're going to share with you is going to be pretty good. So as I mentioned, this is a session 0. We're recording this just a few days before our live on Twitch session 1, where we have our special guest with us as well. So this particular episode, we've got no giveaways. Don't look for the bottoms and don't look for the tea break and everything else. We've got no giveaways on this one. This is purely to find out how these characters, done by these players, actually meet. So it's a little bit more interesting. Session 1 jumps straight into the action. So if you wanted to know more about the characters, where they come from, what their reasons are for being at Sandpoint, this episode should give you those answers. Probably a few more questions, and hopefully gives you a little bit of where the story might be going. Who knows? That comes out later, I believe. So for now, we will begin. So for my players who don't know this bit, this campaign begins on a world called Golorion. More specifically, in a collection of places. I hope you're writing these down, by the way. This is what your pen and paper is supposed to be for. In a collection of places often referred to as the Saga Lands. Now, our story, the one that we're all telling, and this is shared storytelling. This is not just a predictable pathway from the book. We are all telling this story together. So our story starts in a place called Varisia. Now, Varisia consists of a sprawling mix of forested mountains, lush green lands, verdant forests, and a few swamps. Other than that, it's a pretty nice place to live. The year is 4707. You are alive during what's called as the Age of Lost Omens. Today, as we begin this adventure, so today is probably the most glorious of days you have ever seen. There is bright sunshine, there is a gentle breeze, there are clear skies, and we begin this story we're following a small transport vessel not far from the harbour of a small coastal town called Sandpoint. Now, this particular story, we're going to open with one of our players, Tolkus. So Tolkus, on this boat, so glorious day as we mentioned, is helping out on the boat, the ship, the vessel, by wrapping up some rope. And as he looks over to the front of the boat, he sees Yelena. Yelena is the current owner, and on this particular trip, acting captain. So, Tolkus, tell us, what would you like to do?
Right, so yeah, as you said, Dave, Tolkus is clearing up some of the rigging on the port side of the boat, and he's basically paid for his passage to Sandpoint by working on the boat because his background is a sailor. One of the many good backgrounds you can choose from Pathfinder. And Yelena, as you say, is the boat captain, and he's very impressed with Yelena because she's very honest, hard-working half-orc, and yeah, he's got along. He's chatted with her a bit, but he's about to go and have a little conversation with her. So he finishes tidying up the ropes, and then he heads to the front of the boat, and he says, "Yelena, I must thank you again for my passage."
No problem, Tolkus. It's always good to take on new people, and you've done a good job. We've got far worse workers on here. I kind of wish you could stay.
Yes. Some of the men and women on this boat do need a bit of a bashing, but most of them have a good heart.
They do. I'll leave that to Gregor though. He's better at that than I am.
Yes, I've been most impressed by your fairness and your hard work on this boat, and I can understand why you make a good captain.
Well, I'm only doing it this far. Gregor gets to take over. He's better at it than I am, really.
If you are departing at Sandpoint, maybe we could have a look around together.
We'll certainly get a drink. I think after everything you've done, I owe you that at the very least. What are you doing at Sandpoint anyway?
I'm
come a long way just to go here. I mean, there's not much going on.
Well, I received a letter not long ago from my half-brother, Harrison Foxglove, and we've arranged to meet here.
Half-brother?
Yes,
You met him before?
No, we've never met. I was raised by my mother till the age of 10. She was a shield maiden in my village, and she taught me the ways of the warrior. And I was never interested in finding my paternal father, but when I got this letter, I thought, why not?
Well, why not? You've got to find these things out, haven't you? Anyway, it's an adventure.
Yes, I'm also hoping to make my fortune. I plan to be away from my family for at least a year or two, and then hopefully return a richer man.
You going back with bags of gold?
If my favor is in, yes.
Well, at least you haven't turned pirate. Could have gone back with bags of gold then, and you'd have been sailing.
I am far too happy to be a pirate, I think.
Fair enough.
What was that?
What's that? Is that you?
Coming from that barrel next to us.
Barrels don't talk. They don't make noises.
And I just have a halfling who's quite dishevelled and bearded with a sailor's jacket on, kind of pushes the top of the barrel over. It's like, it's so hot today, I can't take it. Are we almost at Sandpoint?
And who are you?
Who are you and how did you get on my ship?
I'm Rap. Well, it's not like nobody knew about it. I mean, Greg already knew.
Did he? You wanted him to tell me.
I wave over to him.
Greg always like,
Yeah.
hey, Rob!
Yeah, I've got his jacket. Look.
Gregor, you and me need to have a word.
Okay, Captain.
Are you sure you're not a stowaway?
You're kind of travelling like a stowaway.
Stowaway? More of a visitor to the ship?
Have you paid your way? Have you worked on the ship?
Yes.
Yes, how?
Well, I kept them entertained at night while we were gambling.
The less said about that, the better.
I won this jacket, so...
Gregor, I told you you're shit at gambling.
Yeah, I know, but hell.
He's not the brightest.
So,
He's the
Rap,
captain after I get off. I'm a little bit concerned.
So, well, we are nearly at our destination anyway, so I suppose there's no need to punish anybody if he was a stowaway or not.
That's a relief.
You get off.
Mm.
Well, we could make you swim, but it does seem a little bit petty at this point. Might as
I
well just put you
believe
on land.
that you will owe Yelena a favor, though. Maybe you should come with us.
That sounds a good idea. You could start by buying me a drink.
Hmm.
With all the money I have, yes.
Yeah, I should have thought that one through first. That's
So
fair.
you want a jacket, but you could not win money.
I think Gregor was out too. He'd lost a lot that night.
Mm.
Well, you'd almost hit the shirt off his back. That tracks. That tracks.
Yeah.
I like you, Rob. You make me laugh.
Well, while you're here, you can help us get things ready to unload.
I look down at my like.
Yeah, we'll make
8
sure
body.
that you get the light stuff.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. How far do we look to be from Sandpoint of it now?
You're not far at all. I mean, you're literally just kind of sort of 10 minutes out. You can see that the flags are raised, ready for you to accept you into the main harbour. Weirdly, I just had a thought of you. I heard the seagulls, so we got some sound effects going on. I just had some seagulls going on, and I just thought of pictured the three of you at the front of the boat eating a portion of chips with your battered sausage, and I just thought completely hijacked this adventure. With seagulls bombing you at the front of the boat, but hey ho.
No.
Maybe one poos on Rup.
I don't smell. I've been
It's
in
good
that.
luck, Rup.
I've been in that barrel a long time. I don't smell very nice.
It's not Rup, it's right.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So I need to gather my equipment up before we get to the port
Yeah.
and
You have
disembark.
equipment?
Yes. You have a shirt. Is that your equipment?
Yeah, and I have sweets.
Sweets.
Is that what you've
Nice.
been
I
living
like you even more. Yeah.
And a small dagger. that I bring out.
Well, you are a small guy.
You're
on? Elena goes to
Big
take
guy.
it. It's a bit small. It is quite small.
Give it back, please.
There you go.
Thank you.
So Tolkas is going to say farewell. I will get my equipment to come back and join you, and then he disappears down to the cabin area to get his stuff.
Okay, with that.
Elena will also go and get her stuff. And if Rupp wants to come with her to maybe
Pick up
go
some
and
more
freshen up,
I'll follow behind.
he can
Find
follow.
a barrel of clean water somewhere. So, what is the name of your vessel?
It's the Magdalena.
The Magdalena. As it gets guided into docks, you pull up, 3-point turn.
Yep.
And then you park.
First time.
Yep. Of course, it's not reverse parking. And you weigh anchor. And then, how many of you are getting off? What's the plan? Why are you in Sandpoint?
We are in Sandpoint 2. We have a consignment to deliver en route to Magnemar, but we've also taken some damage.
Okay.
So
The
the
repairs.
ship is coming in for repairs as well, but Elena is getting off the ship at this point, deciding to not wait to Magnemar. I think most of the crew is gonna disembark for a while and probably go and find the nearest pub.
Shore leave.
Shore leave.
Woo!
Shore leave.
So you
And,
settle the details with the harbour master.
Yep.
Everything's signed and paid for, which is good. They would
And
look,
hand the
they
keys
would-
over to Gregor.
Okay.
Who is much, he is much better at sailing and
And
much
that
more competent than
keys.
he's much more competent than he sounds.
I wouldn't do you lock them away. Don't.
Stormy waters.
Gregor, do not sail this drunk.
I have to admit, I will not miss Gregor.
And he waves you off. Bye.
He's fine.
Bye, Gregor.
Bye, Gregor.
Oh shit! I got the keys. Uh-oh.
So
Right,
we're
and
gonna
off you go.
we're gonna make
I'll
our
turn
way off
seagulls
the
off
boat.
now. There we go.
Yep.
And what's going on in the
Yeah.
harbour?
Okay, so it seems to be quite busy in this quaint little coastal town of Sandpoint. It's it's quite busy. Lots of people seem to be hurrying around. You've arrived, let's say, mid to late morning, so it's not quite lunchtime. But there's lots of people heading around. All seem to be rushing in one particular direction. But as you've arrived on the docks, there's loads of bunting and ribbons. Lots of birds and butterflies flying around. It's a really, really lovely place to be. So, what would you like to do?
Well, Tokus loves it because he loves anything jolly. So he's got a
True.
massive smile on his face.
So let's do the first roll of the entire campaign. It's going to be on Tolkien,
No pressure.
who just remembered his dice. We're going to do a sniff check. It's a perception check. What smells can you smell on the wind?
That is 16 plus 5, which
Yep.
is 21.
Okay,
Well,
so
we're up.
as well as Rob. Yeah, right.
Maybe I've
you
got an
can-
advantage because I'm so tall.
Yeah, you can waft him away.
Yeah.
You smell what appears to be meats, roasting meat, succulent pigs, sausages, bacon, all kinds of, it's brunch all over again. It's just these wafts of smells, and you're kind of almost led by your nose. And while you get off the boat, you've had a hearty breakfast anyway, but your belly goes.
Rob, I
Your
believe
mouth
your
starts to
people have a custom for second breakfast.
Yeah, I'm really hungry. Can we?
I can smell a second breakfast on the wind.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
It smells like hog roast and other
It's
things.
hard to say no to a hog roast, really, isn't it?
Mm.
Mm.
Let's follow our noses.
Yeah. This place is it's a bit different to Riverport.
It looks like a very jolly place.
It's hotter.
Yeah,
Is it done
Riddleport,
up?
where you came from, or where you live, is actually a bit of a dive.
Yeah. Yep. It's an understatement to say it's a bit nicer. Is Sandpoint all done up like it's festival, or is it just?
It
jolly?
is. There is some kind of fair or festival going on. Everyone's in really good cheer. Lots of families that you see being seem to be rushed around. Again, all heading sort of down one lane and up another one, trying to obviously follow somewhere. The direction they're going, the banners seem to be sort of thicker, and you can, as you start to walk in that direction, you hear more noises of people and things going on in the distance. Lots of laughter and cheers and all kinds of noises. Tolkien completely ignores that because he's following his main sense of smell here.
Zoned in.
Following his belly.
Food for Tokos is always the main thing. It's like a certain order of things. Food's pretty much number one most of the time.
So, what do you wish to do?
Well, Tokos will say to Rob, I believe you will like games of chance. There might be games of chance here. It looks like a fair.
Yeah, you got a bet for me?
I bet you can't win anything. I bet you a silver piece.
Oh,
Silver
okay.
piece you can't win.
Excellent. Right, here we go.
The first game we see.
Sure. What's the first game we see?
The first game you see. So, as you basically you come up from the docks, you walk up Main Street, and for quite a way, and then you turn right onto Junkers Way, and that leads you to this huge church square. They seem to be celebrating the finished construction of a new cathedral in Sandpoint. And that's what everyone seems to be there. I mean, around the edges of this kind of church square, you've got stands and stalls. In the middle, it's just a hive of activity with games and parlour games, like have your picture taken with a dressed up pig, not picture, painting.
Well, it's
there's
going to be
co-
one of those goblin cameras.
Exactly, there's coconut shies.
Crossing the
They-
streams, crossing the streams.
There's the old kind of stocks where you can throw wet sponges at people, probably the school teachers. It's all kinds of things going on, face painting for children and adults alike.
However, the first game we come across is the old hammer and bell.
You just setting Ruff up to fail.
Look at Rob and say, "Yeah, I think you have a chance."
Step right up, yeah, step right up. Here we go. Oi, you, big lad. Come on, I got you. Right, come on, step over it. Here's a hammer.
No.
Come on, I bet you can't ring that bell.
My friend has a point to prove. He wishes to go
What?
first.
No, I've chosen
This
you.
isn't
Here we go.
fair.
Come on. Think what all
I'll
the
give it
ladies
a
are going to
go.
say. And you see the crowd, and all the ladies have suddenly hushed down. They're like, ooh.
All right, Tokus will step up and say,
What are you wearing,
"Here up."
Tokus?
What's Tokus wearing?
What do you look like? What are you wearing?
Oh, Tokus is he's 6'4". He's approximately 313 pounds, or 165 kilos if you work in kilos. And he looks a lot like a Viking. He has long braided hair shaved at the sides. There's a big beard, blonde, dirty blonde, and always smiles even in the middle of battle.
Mm-hmm.
But not in that sort of sinister way, you know, like I'm gonna do something nasty to you once I've killed you. It's more like he takes pleasure in life.
Okay. Well, in the crowd, as you're forced this hammer into your hand anyway, he kind of manages to expertly steer you by the hips and push you forward towards ringing the bell.
Yep.
Elaine's
You
like,
notice
yeah.
this selection of faces, women who want you and men want to be you. It's just kind of everyone's drooling, and one of the faces is this kind of redhead in the distance who just has your eye. Manages to catch your eye straight away, even though you're happily married. This redhead is like, oh, and you feel like you need to show off. You strain and peck the muscles. You raise the hammer.
Okay.
And then swing. Roll a strength.
Do you want me to roll for it? Yep. I'm gonna guess it
I'm
will
going to
be an
lean over to.
athletic.
I'm going to.
So
Sorry.
strength check or athletics, but Elena,
I'm
Yeah,
going
athletics.
to turn to Rupp and
Mm.
nudge him and go.
Right, that-
Hold on.
Silver piece. He doesn't do it.
It's
that's a up.
I would. I'll take you up on that.
bet. Oh, it's a bet. So are you done betting on me?
I'm
I'll-
betting, sorry.
wait,
sorry,
I'll-
Yeah,
sorry.
no, that's cool. If you make any money, I want half. No. So that's 19 on the dice plus 7 for athletics. So 26.
Okay, you strike, and you watched it, and it comes down. It almost reaches that bell, but it does not ring it. Straight away, right? You just made a silver coin.
Yeah.
I said 10. Oh, okay, fair enough. I think I was not clear in what I said. I'll give you a silver piece.
Excellent.
I look at Tulkas looks at the hammer, and then looks at the thing, and then looks at the hammer again, and then looks at the thing it's hit with it, and then goes
Losing your touch, Tolkus.
yeah. I'm not having another go because it's rigged. I see.
Step right up, eh? Who can beat him? No one's been able to ring this bell all morning, and there's 2 steak berry pies for anyone who can ring that bell. He
I
can
think
do
Rob
it.
can do it.
Step right up. Rob is your name.
Go on, I think
it
you
then.
can do it.
Do you need the small
I'll-
hammer?
I'll-
Do you need the small? Is this your child? Do you need the small hammer? Does he understand? Oh, he's a bit ripe, isn't he? Right, come on, then, Rob.
Try the big hammer. I mean,
Okay, well,
How big is the big hammer?
if you think you're lucky enough to be able to lift it, you go ahead, son. Go on in.
yeah, I'll have a go.
Step right, and he manages to kind of again twist you round and edge you to the to ring the bell.
Can I examine like the mechanism? Is
Yeah,
there
go-
anything
You
here
can't
that's
kind of
like...
go straight into detail. You can't get
No,
really
no,
up
no.
close,
It's
but you can
magnifying
eyeball
glass.
it from where you are.
Yeah, can I
Yeah.
just do like a quick perception check to see if he's...
Yeah.
having me off.
Having you off.
Whatever. That is a 25.
Might be pulling you off,
Okay.
maybe. I don't know.
You do. So around the base
In public?
of where you would strike the hammer down, you notice that there's like almost like a semicircle that's slightly raised. So no matter who hit it, it would never hit all the way. There's a base which is stopping it.
Right.
So the button that you hit can't go all the way down.
Correct.
Yeah, there's probably like a switch though that makes that go so that you can let some people win. Do you know what I mean?
So if I were to, I'm gonna do like I'm gonna look like I'll take the hammer end, and I'm just like tapping the bell a little bit, and then I'll try and like get that semicircle out from underneath the button.
Go on in.
Work?
Let's do a stealth check.
Okay. That is a 17.
You do. You manage to kind of loosen it enough that you think, okay, if I hit it right, sort of the front of the plunge thing, at least you're in with a better chance.
Okay.
I'm going to lean over to Tolkien and go, what on earth is he doing? He's taking ages.
Okay. I'm
about.
gonna kiss my coin up to the air and give myself guidance.
Go on then.
And I'll try and hit it as hard as I can. What check is it? Athletics.
Do an athletics or strength. I'll let you choose.
Yeah. Well, both the same. So.
What would it be possible? You know when he like lifts the hammer over his head?
Mm-hmm.
Can I like kick the head of it so that he can do it harder?
A lot of people would notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe the guy wouldn't because he's looking directly at Rupp. Do you know what I mean?
We'll see. I'll see how I do. I think. So I've got a 5, but I'm gonna use my halfling luck feat.
Yeah.
That let you roll again?
Yeah, let's re-roll
Yeah, I
again.
thought so.
Oh, we should have pointed out. You all get 1 hero point each.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you all get that. And that
Yay.
is to do any re-roll you like.
Okay. Oh, good. Right. So that would be an 18.
Yeah. Okay, so the hammer. How do you even swing this hammer? It's like.
Yeah, I'm like wobbly, and then.
You managed to whatever I hope that you were trying to do. You managed to hit the kind of, I don't know what it's called, this plunger bit, precisely as you needed to. The clanger shoots straight up, and just as they go, what is it? It goes ting, and he's like,
Yeah.
what? How have you done that?
And then I just pick up the semicircular bit. I just wave it about at him a bit and then run off with it.
He's like, wait, come in.
Hold on, wait for us.
Sword.
What the hell? What the hell?
Falcus
He's
is
like,
stronger than you.
And as you can see, folks, even the mini mightiest of us can ring that bell, but not the biggest. It must be the smallest. Who's going to step up now? Who's going to take it on?
Well, he's buggered now because everyone's going to be able to do it.
Well, I wave it at him, kind of run to the side, run towards Tolkus, and then just go, "Can you get my reward, please? He was cheating."
I suspected as much, but it's life.
Well,
I'll go over
you
to the
then.
guy and say,
look, there's no hard feelings. Here's the 2 pies. I suppose you're going to eat both of those, aren't you?
No. I
Anyway.
don't eat pie. It's bad for my waistline.
Oh,
You just said you wanted lunch.
Take pies. No, I want hog roast. I take the pies and take them over to Rupp. Here is your reward, Rupp.
Oh, this is the best morning ever. 2 pies and a silver piece. I've won out.
And here's another silver piece as our bed.
You just need a bag to put it all in now.
Yeah.
I give you a silver piece as well because I bet that you wouldn't win the first game and you did.
Yeah. Okay. I've acquired 2 from this.
And well done for finding out he was cheating.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy after we saw your one.
Okay,
Well,
so around
figured.
the rest of the fair, around the rest of the church square, there's all kinds of games, including sack races. There are games of hide and seek. There are weightlifting challenges if you'd like to take part in those. balance beam contests, tug of war events, and all kinds of things going on. But suddenly, just to the right of you, there is a... What do you do?
Look to the right.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you see a bunch of kids who seem to have nicked some fireworks, let them off down one of the sides of the buildings.
Go
So
over
it
to
looks
them.
to be one of the town guards seems to march over there. I told you! And they start running off into the crowd.
Kids will be kids.
Mm.
They're having fun.
And fireworks are dangerous.
They didn't look like they got hurt. It's an important lesson if they do. Don't
Yeah,
play with
if
fireworks.
they lose their fingers, they learn the lesson.
Yeah, one of my
Exactly.
cousins lost a hand like that.
Did
Didn't
he ever
play with
find it?
fireworks again, did he?
Sorry? What'd you say? Sorry.
Didn't play with fireworks again then, did he?
No, we didn't. But yeah, it's a bit of a sad story. I'm sorry, you shouldn't bring that stuff up. But
You were the one that brought it up.
It's so
I'm
sad.
just
You
saying.
laugh when you tell it.
a little bit. Well, I was the one that
Yeah.
gave him the fireworks, so.
I like your sense of humor up.
Right. We should. I don't know. What next?
Would
I've
you
got
want to
2
eat your
pies.
Do you would like some food?
Okay.
Not pie?
Yeah,
A whole pig would be nice.
I start eating one of the pies with my hands.
As
just
you,
like
as you walk
dipping-
around,
No, I'm just dipping my hand into it and
shovel it in.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Can you hold the other one?
Elena will take the other one.
You start to get sort of berries and pie just on your
Yeah.
one shirt.
Yeah. In my
What
beard.
kind of pie is
in
it?
my beard, yeah.
What kind of pie was it, Dave?
I just said it was the berry pie.
If it is blackberry, I'm allergic.
Well, that's good to know.
Didn't know anyone could be allergic to blackberries. Might be a bit of a problem while you're travelling around.
Yeah, I stick to blueberries.
Oh,
So-
they're full of the good stuff, aren't they?
Yes.
What would you like to do?
Can we have a look around and see where the nearest hog roast might be, or something similar?
Yeah, it's just on the opposite side of the square from where you are. It appears to be some kind of cooking competition. You've got the various pubs and taverns and inns from Sandpoint all do some kind of cooking competition, and are all bringing out basic free food for everyone. Everyone's allowed to test it. There's all kinds of bits and pieces going on, including bacon sandwiches, bacon buns, hog roast sausages, and you can see a couple of hog roasts being kind of on the spit, getting ready.
So I make a beeline for the nearest hog roast.
Okay.
Yeah, I will also head over that way.
You can almost see me saliva dripping from my mouth.
I'll follow with a pie in my mouth.
So you reach over to the first stand you see, which is one of the spit roasts, and there's a charming young woman comes out. She's bringing like chili spiced potatoes, succulent pieces of hams, chopped steaks, as well as she keeps on. She's checking the pig, and she's drizzling some kind of honey and wine beer over the pork-bellied beast, and as
Now
the
I'm
rest
hungry
of it
in real
drips
life.
down, now the rest of it drips down
Damn it.
into the flames. You go, and all the sparks and the ashes drip up, and again Tolkien is just
Yeah.
Focus.
Focus is in his element. If there's also like an ale or a mead stand as well, he's just that's his day gone basically.
So
He will remember at some point that he spent to meet his half brother in the tavern, but you know.
well, at the moment he's forgotten all about that. So
Yeah.
the lady turns around and says, "Oh, okay, good morning. Oh, visitors. I haven't seen you before. I don't recognise you anyway. So how can I help? You want some food? What would you like?
Good morning to you, fair maiden.
Hams?
I would love
Fair
some.
Maiden. I haven't been called that for a long time. You're definitely from out of town.
Yes, far out of town.
Okay. Again, what can I offer you?
Can we have some hog roast,
Well, the hog is not ready. We've probably got another half hour maybe.
sausages?
Oh, we've got plenty of sausages. Yep. Do you want them
Have
chopped,
some
sliced?
sausages.
Say that again.
Yeah.
I think it's the accent.
Yes, I must work on that. Yes, we will have some sausages, please.
Sausages.
And sausages as well. Yeah, okay. Yeah. How many?
We will have 8. How many do you want, Yelena and Rob? I will have 8.
3.
3.
I have a couple.
Have they got some like bread to put them in as well?
Yeah, we have all kinds of bread. If you need to, we've got a couple of barrels there. This is our home brew. It's a mild ale. We make it out of seaweed and sea salt, but it's got a hefty kick to it. So do have a go. There's some flagons there. Do help yourself. And
I am up for trying.
We've got a couple of tables and chairs over there. I'm assuming you're together. You're a bit of a strange bunch. You're together, are you?
We just came in on ship. Just made port. So we decided we would see what all the fuss was about. And we followed our noses to your wonderful stand.
Well, that's great to hear. If you wouldn't mind, there's a voting ballot over there. I'm just saying, I'm Amiko. My name is Amiko Kajitsu from the Rusty Dragon. We're a local inn, not far from here. So if you need a place to stay, why don't you come on over and we've got some rooms available. We're not the best in town, but we've got some reasonable rates, and we hope you like our food and stay. But do help yourselves, and I'll bring if you take a seat over there, get yourself some drinks, and I'll bring over some sausages for you. It's all
Thank
free
you very
well.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
No, it's my pleasure. It's nice to hear that you came over here just because of the smell of it. That's fantastic.
So we're going to get some ale.
Yep.
Sit down. I suppose she's going to bring the food over, isn't she?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
So it only takes us sort of 5 minutes to bring over the food. Once you sit down, you try the ale, and although it's slightly on the green tinge, it is probably the best ale you've ever tasted. Slightly salty as well.
This is very unusual ale. I approve.
This is better than it looks, I'm not going to lie. How strong is it?
It's not very
as
strong.
Amika comes back over, she's like, "Oh, it's great. Well, it's homebrew. We're still dabbling with the strength of the beer, but it's quite strong. Don't have too many of it, my love. But you'll be perfectly fine."
That's I think Tolkien might have taken that as a challenge.
Yes.
Well, we do regularly hold drinking competitions, but that's back at the Rusty Dragon. As I said, we won't do it today because it is a church day. But do come back to the pub.
Challenge accepted.
Likewise.
This church day, I say from my pipe.
From my pipe. What, you sitting in it now?
No, in my mouth. It's. What? When was this built? Or finished?
The cathedral. Just it's only just recently. I think it was the final piece. I think it went in about 2 weeks ago. And we've got we're just kind of celebrating that. We've been building this for a number of years. I think it's maybe 5 or maybe 10 years actually.
I don't know the area very well, but who to? Which god?
Oh, it's just a general church. So anyone of anyone of a good nature can come here. If you like, Father Xantus will be here at some point at midday. They're going to be doing speeches. If you haven't seen it already, just outside the cathedral, there's a stand, or a stage rather than a stand. But they'll be doing some speeches just at midday. We've got about maybe another hour or so, I think, and then it's fun and games for the rest of the day. So do stay around. There's lots of things. You can do some craft. You can do some face painting. There's a coconut shy somewhere. You know, you can do some pig racing if you like. If you're into pig racing, you can do
I'm
that.
going to point at Rupp and go. He's already won the strongman competition.
Well, Rupp did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at my pie to prove it.
Stronger than he looks. He beat Tolkus. Tolkus couldn't manage to ring that bell. But little Rupp.
Oh, well, I've always thought the guy who ran it was a bit crafty, so it's a bit surprising that you won, but you didn't. Well, you must be lucky. Okay then. Well, I've got to get back to me pig, otherwise he'll dry out. I have to keep basting him.
You can't do that. Can't let the pig dry out.
Definitely not let the pig
I look
dry
forward to tasting the pig.
Well, come back. As I said, it's not long, but do come back, and you'll get some. Do you want me to save you some crackling?
Oh yes.
Yeah. I mean, once we've carved it out, we'll also have some ribs as well. We'll bring the ribs back to the pub this evening.
If I wasn't married already, you'd be in trouble.
Well, I've been looking at some of the ladies watching you. I think even if they can only see the back of your head, the size of your shoulders, I think that I think there might be a queue.
You are too kind.
Well, that's part of my nature. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you need anything, do let me know.
So, just out of interest, the race of a lot of people around here, is it mostly human?
Mostly human, yes. There is a mix. They're not afraid when they saw sort of Yelena. It doesn't sort of put them off in any way. There's nothing unusual, certainly, about seeing a halfling. So yeah, it's perfectly normal. But most of them are human.
Well, that's a good point there, Games Master. What does Rupp and Yelena look like?
Well, tell us, Yelena.
Okay. Well, she's a half-orc, as already mentioned. She has partly shaved head with red hair, which is generally braided down her back, which it is at the minute because it keeps it out of the way. She has a big tattoo on her shoulder, an octopus, which kind of goes down her back, down her arm, across her front. And she has a driftwood staff that she's carrying around with her, and another tattoo on her arm with some flowers. And she's not she doesn't look as strong as Tolkus, but from working on the ship she's reasonably strong. She can handle herself.
She has Tolkus's respect anyway, so that's
it's always good.
Rupp. Other than Rupp, your
Rupp
pie
cannot
stains.
handle himself. He's got.
Other than wearing a stolen jacket.
Yeah, well, they're not stolen. One.
Yeah. Likely story.
So, well, you say.
You got it.
So, he's 3 foot tall. He's a halfling. He's got quite wild brown hair, with a beard with like kind of a chops type thing with a mustache. No bit on the chin. He's dressed in like he's got quite an oversized sailor's jacket on right now, with some bare brown pants, like trousers.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. It's an Americanism, I guess. And then, he's got pie down his front right now as well.
And it doesn't bother him, does it?
It doesn't bother him. No. Yeah. So that's Rupp. Oh, he's also got a satchel full of sweets, mostly.
Not Werther's Originals.
No, certainly not.
Unless they want to sponsor us, but hey ho.
Yeah, now that would be awesome.
Anyone from Werther's Originals you'd like to sponsor us? Please do. Send tweets.
Eat them on camera and everything. I wouldn't care.
This is not sponsored by San Miguel.
And he's often fiddling with a like silver coin that he's got in his hand.
Glad you said coin.
Yeah.
Particularly after the pants thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least you were planning ahead wearing the brown pants.
Yeah, he's at the moment he's like he hasn't got any shoes on or anything. I think he's got quite for halflings have got quite
hardy feet.
Hardy feet.
Yeah, I was going to say tough feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, they sound like awesome characters to me.
Did you say you wanted to meet your half brother?
Oh, yes, I had completely forgotten. I was enjoying this ale and food so much. Yes, yes, Harrison is his name.
Yeah, I heard.
Yes. I must admit that this ale has gone to my head and I've completely forgotten the tavern name.
Well,
And
we
it
could
takes
always
another
do a
big gulp.
tavern crawl. To find
Yeah,
him.
that sounds like a good idea.
Well, how are you going to get to him now?
How are you going to find him if you don't know where you got to meet him? Because you don't know what he looks like, I guess.
Well, in his letters, he sent me a small painting of what he looks like. He has
He sent you a picture of himself.
yes, I don't know why, but
That's,
Is he someone with like a calling card or something? Is
that's
that?
weird.
I get the feeling he talks about himself in the third person quite a lot. And
Does he
I'm
do
sure
that in
you
his
haven't met
letters too?
yes, he has 3 scars over his eye. He has blonde hair like me, but not as dirty. And a small mustache and beard, blonde also.
Okay.
I need to look at. Have you got that
Look
picture
out.
with
And
you?
he described himself as a bit flash. I do not know what this means.
Okay.
Oh God, he's going to be. Oh, okay.
Is he
So we're
like
looking
you
for
but
someone
cockier?
who's.
Sorry, Rob?
You but cockier.
Yes, but he is not my size.
Okay, so he's smaller.
Mm.
Okay.
And we'll probably find him at a bar chatting up any woman who happens to be there.
From what
Probably.
I gather from his letters, yes.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
Just at that moment, you suddenly have a bird just flies out of nowhere and just lands on front of your table with the wings, the feathers going everywhere. Bits of feathers go in your food. It's not a seagull, and then
Okay, it's good to know.
it flies off again. But it was not a seagull. And then you hear quite a gruff behind you.
I will turn around.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Look at who's clearing their throat.
as you turn around, the seagulls set off. As you turn around, you see a big, bald man. He's let me just try and bring. There you go. Big, bald man, and he's quite dour. Next to him, there's quite a short gnome with glasses and a braided beard and what looks to be something tied around the bottom of the beard. And he introduces himself as, I take it, so you're visitors, outsiders out of town, yes?
Hello, friend. Yes.
Who's asking?
Yeah.
I'm the
Right.
sheriff here.
Well,
Okay.
good to meet you.
Where is your hat?
The hat is here.
Yes. What can we help you with?
Yeah.
Well, I see, as you can see, it's a happy day for us here in the town. And what I want to know is, you seem, well, at least you do, you seem quite kitted out with the amount of, what do you got? What weapons you got stowed away?
Who, me?
I did say the one who looked pretty kitted out, so yeah.
I have a couple of axes and kitchen knives.
Okay, you know how to use them?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this once. That you do not use them. This is a peaceful town. If I hear from anyone that you've raised those for any reason, you've unsheathed those weapons, I'll lock you up.
There is no trouble from me. I am here to eat and drink.
That's
And
good
have
to hear.
fun.
Do you come around and
I've
do
said
this
my
to
piece.
this shop?
I hope you do enjoy your day.
Oh,
It
do
is.
you do this to every visitor that comes into town?
Just
Not
the
very
ones I
friendly
don't
of
know.
you. And so every visitor that comes into town, then
Just the ones I don't know.
that would be you would if you know all the visitors that come into town, they're not visitors.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it is nice to have met you, Sheriff, and congratulations on keeping such a nice town.
Functioning.
Yes, we have not seen any crime in the 10 minutes we have been here, which is good.
Good. Let's hope we keep it that way then, shall we? Go.
Yes.
Elias, should we go check out the church?
We can, or I could stay here and maybe get to know these three a little better, and then maybe meet up with you later, Bello.
If you wish. Very good. I'll see you later, Professor. Take care.
Good day.
And with
So-
that, Bella walks off.
Who are you?
Please excuse his gruffness. It's obviously a big deal at the time, especially after the unfortunate events of 5 or so years ago. They've weighed heavily on our sheriff. My name, is Professor Elias Skyborough. I'm a sometime resident of Sandpoint. My parents used to live here, and I keep a small house here. I'm from Magnamar. I guess I would call that home in my most recent future. But still, anyway, my friends call me Professor.
Good to meet you, Professor.
It's good to meet your acquaintance,
you too.
Professor.
Now, let me guess. You, Yelena, a sailor?
Yeah.
Your name, large chap?
My name is Tolkas Ragnarsson. It is good to meet you, Professor.
Tall, tall, yes. I like that. It's descriptive, and I will remember. I like to use little mnemonic tricks to remember things. Tall, very good, very good. And as he's saying this, he wanders over to Rupp and pulls out a small brush from one of his many pockets on the front of his velvet jacket and starts to brush him down. Now, my dirty little friend.
I like T-pose. Like.
Yeah.
Assume the position, Rob. Assume the position.
This has happened before.
It's not my first time.
Now.
What's going on? Why this again?
Again?
Rupp?
I'm sure there's a story here, and I guess your name is Rupp. That's what these other two seem to be referring to. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's me.
Now, I can observe that you must be down on your luck, and you're wearing an oversized sailor's jacket by the looks of it. I guess you may have borrowed this. Maybe you're a stowaway on Yelena's vessel here.
Yeah, less of a stowaway, more of a unwanted traveller.
Okay.
Undocumented.
Now,
Undocumented traveller, yeah.
I'd be really interested in hearing all of your tales. You know, Belor, unfortunately, is a little suspicious of strangers. I prefer to make judgments after I've got to know people. I can see you're down on your luck, so there's a story there. Tulkas, you are obviously far, far from home, and I'd be interested to know why you're in a small little town such as Sandpoint. Yelena, you're off of a vessel, obviously.
Yep.
Captain, first mate?
First mate, but I'm taking a bit of time off.
Interesting.
For a
So,
while.
your vessel is here in Sandpoint for some other reason than trade.
Yeah.
Were you attacked by pirates by any chance?
Yeah, we took a bit of damage en route from them. We managed to get away, but it's never fun. And yeah, we had to stop at Sandpoint anyway. But it's a bit of a longer stopover than we anticipated. I was getting off at Magmar anyway, but seeing as stopping here for a bit longer seemed to make sense.
I myself don't travel by the seas. I've only travelled on a boat once, and that didn't end well. So,
Oh, but travelling by boat, it's the best feeling. Do you not like it? What happened?
well, we were attacked by pirates. The vessel sunk, and I ended up spending 3 days bobbing on the water.
Yeah, that would put you
Um,
off. That would put you off. No, I've grown up on the sea. This is gonna be the longest time away from the ocean. It's gonna be strange. It's
It's
gonna be
gonna
very
take you a
strange.
while to get over the land sickness,
I think
Ilana.
it really is. It really is. There's nothing quite like being on a day like this with a good wind in the middle of the ocean. Um, there's nothing quite like it.
So,
yes, the sun beating down on your uncovered forehead as you lay there bobbing on what used to be the door to your cabin, looking forlornly at the shore half a mile away whilst being unable to swim.
Did you let someone go off the door that you were bobbing on, or did you let them get on as well? Is there enough space?
There unfortunately wasn't enough space.
I'm sure there's people that are arguing about this to this
Yeah.
day.
So we could stand here under the midday sun, or we could head somewhere, find a drink, maybe possibly a table, sit down and discuss our shared histories.
can you describe what you've got on you?
Oh yeah, what do you look like,
Yeah, what
Prof?
does the professor look like?
So I'm about 3 foot tall. I have a shock of blue hair upon my head that seems to stand on end as if I've been electrified. It's a vibrant blue colour, though it is streaked through with white. My beard is of the same colour, a very vibrant blue, and it is woven into sort of a braided pattern, quite complicated, and ends in a sort of a large golden object about the size of your fist. Seems to be cylindrical in shape, though very shallow. The clothes I'm wearing are very fine. I'm wearing a blue, dark blue, almost black velvet jacket. It's covered in many pockets, one of which I pulled out the brush that I used to brush ruck down with, and it is detailed in silver filigree. The boots I'm wearing look very expensive as well, the large buckles on either side. I'm wearing only a couple of belt pouches carrying some small items. You can see a dagger tucked away. But other than that, I'm not carrying a backpack or anything, so I obviously live here. You do, however, notice I'm holding quite an ornate looking cane that's topped with a large gold coloured object.
Okay,
Let's see.
sure.
So there are
just-
some taverns around here that are of good repute. The Rusty Dragon is a good one. I'll see you partaking.
The
Well, it's just a moment ago.
Dragon. I believe
Yes.
this is the tavern I am meant to be meeting my brother.
Oh, you've remembered.
Well,
No, it sounds familiar. I don't know. I've had a bit too much ale.
we just met a woman from the Rusty Dragon.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Ah,
The lady who brought sausages over. She's from the Rusty Dragon.
sausages? Did I eat sausages? I
You
look
had
at my
8
plate
of
and it's
them.
empty.
You had 8 of them told us.
Ah, sausages. Let us go. We
But at this point,
should go.
the car will be ready. The hog roast will be ready by now.
Later, they're saving crackling for you. Let's.
Yes, I will return for the crackling. I think we should go with the professor and see what is happening. And I had a gulp down the last of the ale, right,
Elaine will do the
from
same.
my 2-pint flagon.
She did not have a 2-pint flagon.
I didn't have any ale. So,
I did
Officer
not mean to finish it up before you had any.
no, I didn't mean that as a bad thing.
Yeah.
As I just saying out of character that I didn't have any, noticeably.
So, do you have anywhere to stay yet?
Nope.
No, we just got here, did the strongman competition, and came and got some food.
Well, with these 2 silver pieces, I can maybe get a room.
You,
That's
You may struggle, unfortunately, Master Rupp. The town will be quite busy, and I'm sure the prices will be quite high. But do not fear. You may be in luck, my small friend. As I say, I do own a house here. It was, in fact, my parents' home, just over the rear of the town near Undercliff. You are quite welcome to stay with me. I would, of course, extend the
That's
courtesy to
very
you two, but
generous.
you would not fit unless you wish to camp outside. But you're quite welcome, Master Rupp. I feel almost like a paternal feelings towards you. It's horrible to see one of our stature down on their luck, and having been there myself, I feel like I need to help you out. I do, of course, have many spare clothes that I can help you out with as well.
Look, I can look after myself. Look,
No,
I've made it
of
this
course,
far.
of course.
Come on, I mean, look, you say I'm down on my luck. I've got this jacket. I've got this pie. I've got my 2 silver pieces, and I can make my way. I can make my way on my own. Thank you very much.
10 minutes ago, you had 2 pies.
Believe me, Master Rupp, I didn't mean to offend. It was, of course, I have been through the same circumstance, and looking back,
But don't
I
you
did
guys?
wish somebody would have helped me out. So
Well,
I'm just extending the courtesy. You don't have to accept.
Thank you, but don't you think it's a bit suspicious that some guy just comes up and says hello and then just offers you his house?
You're obviously from somewhere that's a little bit more, well, a little bit less than Sandpoint. Maybe Riddleport. You don't look like you're from Magnabar.
You'd be about right.
Yeah, no, if someone invites you to their house in Riddleport, you don't go if you don't know them. You're
I
gonna
completely
die.
understand. The offer is a...
My friends, I've just remembered it is the Rusty Dragon. That is where we are heading.
Okay, shall we make our way to the Rusty Dragon then?
Let's have a go. Yeah.
So we can take the scenic route if you wish. We can go through the market. I can show you maybe some of the sites. There aren't many.
Yeah,
Sounds good to
sounds
me.
good.
Yeah.
So we wander along the main street. We head over to the lighthouse first, the Bryn Lighthouse.
Yeah.
I don't really know the history of this place. It's always been ruined. Yeah, maybe it was built a long time ago. Maybe before Sandpoint became a human settlement. Maybe there was another a period or people that used to live here. I don't really know the history of this, but I brought you over this way because it looks over Chopper Island, and Chopper Island is a rather sinister. Well, I guess the Chopper period is a sinister period in the history of Sandpoint. There was a serial killer. He killed about a dozen people, maybe 5 or 6 years ago now. There was a month-long reign where nobody was safe, and the city was on curfew and lockdown, and it was a sad period. As you said, there's very little crime here, and Sheriff Hemlock doesn't normally have a lot to deal with, but that was an awful period in our history. And it was shortly after that we eventually stopped Chopper, that the previous shepherd of our church was murdered, and the church burnt down. That was a mysterious event that's never been solved, and unfortunately it has had a bit of a negative impact on Hemlock, who I say he's mistrustful of outsiders. Still, here we are to celebrate because the church has been rebuilt. The cathedral has been rebuilt, and today is the day it opens, and now a new pastor takes residence, and all is well with the town, and we are celebrating. I believe the mayor will make a speech, but maybe we'll skip that and have a drink instead.
I like this idea.
We
I want to see the speech, but I'm
Okay.
sure we have time.
Okay, well, we can stop there. I mean, well, let's go and see the cathedral now, and maybe we'll arrive in time for the speeches. So, Master Rupp, are you a follower of any religions?
Recently, I was always superstitious. But recently, like, I've maybe found something. But I don't know what. So, yeah.
You should get that checked out, Rupp.
No, well, it's gone well for me so far. You just gotta believe in it strong enough, and it'll work out.
I'm not the religious type, I guess. I'm too logical. I like to have control of things around me rather than waiting on some mysterious or mystical essence to take control. But I see the comfort it brings to some people, so that's a good thing. You know.
It's not just comfort. Things have been looking up for me recently, so.
Then that's good, Master Up. Good. I'm
I
glad to
am
hear
with
it.
you, Professor. I do not believe that gods are needed.
Well, I wouldn't say they're needed or not needed. I guess
Some
each
people
finds
need
their own.
them. Some people don't. If you
Well, they're real.
believe in life, live life, love life, you do not need God.
I disagree. They're real and powerful, and they.
I did not say they are not real. I said they are not needed. These are two different things.
Now, last thing we need on a day,
let's not have a
noonday
theological
is
debate.
is an argument about religion. Still, here we are at the cathedral.
There is no argument. I always say, believe what you wish, as long as you are a good person. And I believe Rupp is a good person, although a little dodgy.
Immediately outside the cathedral, on the steps of the cathedral, you see that they seem to be getting ready on the stage. They've still just finished off the bunting and the curtains and bits and pieces. The podium is there, and there's a few people quite auspicious, a bit serious, who seem to be standing around doing a kind of brushing down their clothes, getting ready to make speeches. But on the steps of the cathedral is quite a well-dressed, well-to-do looking nobleman by any account. Seems quite bored. Put out of place. Looks like he might be doing a speech or kind of just waiting for his bit to be over. What would you like to do?
Well, it looks like they're getting ready to do the speeches. Should we find our way to the front of the crowd and take a listen?
Let's give it a listen, see what they've got to say.
I am willing to listen.
I'll try and use Toolcast to find us a prime spot near the front, so we can see all the proceedings as they happen.
I'll barge through the crowd. Yeah, I'll just barge politely through the crowd. I don't barge nastily. I always say, "Excuse me, thank you for letting me through."
Okay.
And then I say to the prof and Rupp, "Would you like a better view? You can get on my shoulder if you wish."
That's really offensive.
Both up.
Hey, it's handy. I mean,
so you kind of.
It's up to you. I do not care either way. I just thought you might like a better view.
You make your way through to the front middle. So there's people in front of you, but obviously Tolkus, there's no one in front of him necessarily. Harrison, can you make me a perception check, please?
15.
Okay. From your vantage point of sitting on the steps of the cathedral, you see this kind of bunch of misfits. You kind of recognise the professor. You've seen him around town before, sort of once or twice. You know him as a kind of almost a regular. And then you see this Viking-looking fella, and then based on your correspondence, you believe, could this be the one you've been looking for? Not too sure.
I stopped looking at my pocket mirror. And, in describing myself, is a extravagant, like an extremely extravagant.
You're saying this to the mirror. I do look extravagant, don't I?
What do you look like, Harrison?
An extravagant. Did I say extravagant?
I think 4 times, yes.
A well-dressed man with slick back blonde hair and blue eyes. He's very a noble-looking man. 29 and a 5'9" in height. Though slim build and very.
he says he's 6 foot.
I was going to say, is he wearing lift?
He's totally
says
wearing
platform shoes on.
He's wearing heels.
And I see that this massive Viking is of who I believe to be my potential half brother, who I've been hearing about, and I slowly, gingerly walk over to Tulkas, and
Ginger.
I say to Tulkas, "Hello, are you Tulkas by any chance?"
I spin round, look at him, and go, Harrison! And I pick him up, like literally pick him up, bear hug him, and say, "Hello, it is good to meet you."
Yes. Oh, well, quite an entrance, I see. Well, so, who are you with? I didn't say. Oh, well, our correspondence didn't
Oh,
mention other people.
these are my friends. I've met them on the journey here. This is Yelena. This is Rup. This is the professor. He is my newest friend. We only met him literally 10 minutes ago. And
Harrison, yeah.
everybody, this is Harrison. He is my half brother.
Harrison ignores all of the other people and takes extreme fancy to Yelena, and kneels down on one floor and picks up her hand and kisses it on her hand and says, "Yelena, it is my pleasure to meet you. I am Harrison Fox. And this is
I just step in between and say, now that we're speaking eye to eye, I'm Rap.
Yelena plays you another silver piece.
And I looked to Ruff, who's just introduced himself, and say, hello. And you may be Rupp, I suppose.
Yeah, and I'm much more pretty than this one.
Well,
Takes the silver piece back.
Yeah.
I don't think I've come across a halfling.
You should have done. There's a lot in this town.
Really? Where
Well,
is
There's a few. You
No.
probably just didn't pay many attention.
Well, to be fair, I commonly deal with the human folks. I'm a trader by trade, but I have not come across halflings in my dealings as trade. But it's nice to meet you, Rupp. And who's this other gentleman?
I just wanted to clarify. You don't trade in halflings.
Yeah.
I don't trade in halflings. I haven't traded with halflings.
Yes, that was not in your background story that you told me. So just be clear.
Harrison, this is the professor. He's our new friend. He's showing us around this beautiful village.
Hello, Professor. I think we may have met, have we not?
You remind me of one of my students at Magnamar University, and I would hazard a guess that's where you hail from.
Well, yes, Magnamar is where I come from. I'm staying in the townhouse. I don't know whether you've heard of the townhouse and Foxglove Manor, maybe.
No, I haven't heard of Foxglove Manor. I don't spend an entirely large amount of time in Sandpoint, I must be honest. I live nowadays in Magnamar. I partly teach at the university, partly run a private investigators. I'm a consulting detective, I guess I say by trade. And I travel the world and Varisia and the Saga lands, and I indulge in my obsession, which is the occult.
Well, if you didn't know, Foxglove Manor used to be a haunted mansion. My brother and I, Alden, have fixed it up, and well, mostly him, with his wife, wonderful wife, Aisha. But anyway, enough about him. Let's get going. What are we doing? I'm meeting my brother, of course. But what are we doing?
I have another half brother.
Are you gonna
never
stand-
mentioned in the letters.
Are you going to stand up from kneeling down,
Yes.
or are you going to stay
Get
there?
up off your knee,
It's gotta be
Harrison.
uncomfortable.
Of course. And Harrison gets up after having a deep conversation with everyone on one knee, dusts off his knee and carries on having his conversation with everyone.
I'm intrigued. Why were you on the stage?
Well, I was telling a story about the time that I fell in love with a nearby carnival lady, of course, and I was telling a story about the time that I fought this tiger. Well, it wasn't really a fight. I was trying to entice it with my dueling cape. trying to impress the ladies, I suppose. And unfortunately, I had a nasty accident that caused this scarring on my eyes. But yes, enough about me. Enough about me.
Yelena would
You-
like to roll a bullshit check.
Yeah,
I don't know what skill that is.
it's going to be
Perception.
yeah, it's going to be a deception, isn't it?
Perception.
Oh, perception
Perception.
for a deception, yeah.
I
Ideally,
just
you want to
got-
roll against a roll that Josh makes for deception. If he's
Okay.
telling a lie, that
Do
is.
you want to have a roll off?
I got it. Have a roll off.
All right.
Highest score on a d20 wins.
Okay. So
Well, I rolled as 10, so
Ooh.
you're
Well,
probably going to win.
I rolled a 9.
Oh.
What's your perception, Yelena? Sharon,
My
what's your
perception is a +6.
Right, so you got 16.
No,
What
no,
did-
I rolled a 10 including.
Oh, a 10 including. Oh.
I rolled
Oh,
a
you should have
4.
just made that up.
I could have, but
I rolled a 20.
lie.
Yeah.
it's why is she always rolling natural 20s? No idea.
Right, so you rolled a 9. What did you get on your deception? So it's 9 plus.
No, I rolled a 4 plus 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
we both rolled
Oh!
fours.
So you
Yeah,
did
Yelena
detect the
has
bullshit, Sharon.
Yelena has one. So you detect that there is. We won't go into detail, but you detect
No.
there is a layer of whiffy stuff there.
There is a veneer. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how thick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
Okay.
take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
It looks quite painful, that scar.
Well,
If you,
he's
if
a
you
third
put your
of a
finger and then
Yeah.
does it come off?
It was a long time ago. I was a different man back then. I stopped following carnival people after that. But well, what are we doing?
Did you have a thing for the bearded lady, brother?
No. And I like the people who hung from the rope things. I forgot what they're called. The
Trapeze
Trapeze.
artist.
Trapeze
The
artist.
trapeze, yes. Well, anyway,
There's
You-
clearly a story there that we're going to get out of you later.
You notice. Oh, hold on. You can carry on. Carry on.
No, that's fine.
Well, we've stopped by the cathedral and Master Up here. He wants to hear the speeches, and I must say I'm curious to see who they're going to have up there talking. Whether it's the mayor, whether it's the sheriff. You say your brother has just taken up this manor. You know, one of my observations from Magnum Rise, they love a noble, so maybe we'll get to hear their fine words. Is your brother around anywhere?
well, I'm supposed to be
Not
meeting
this
him.
one. Not this one.
Oh no,
The other
Totes.
one that you mentioned, Eldon, and his wife Aisha.
Yeah, Aisha is not here. She's back at the manor. But yes, I'm meeting Alden. We're apparently meeting together to meet this half brother of ours, Tolkus. Well, it's quite an interesting story, I suppose. Well, I don't exactly know how this happened. I never knew that I had a half brother. So,
You don't know how you got a half brother.
well, I never knew I had a half brother until I received this letter from a mysterious. A raven delivered me this letter saying I had this half brother. Of course, I had to find out, and I tried to investigate and find out more information with my sources, and that's how I contacted Tolkus to invite him to meet me here in Sandport.
Mystery. I do love a mystery. I must say I'm intrigued.
But
Or now you've just seemed a sort of a bit of a braggart, if I may say so. You remind me so much of this ex-student of mine. I had to fail him for being, well, useless. But yes, you've got me intrigued now. So tell me more about this letter and this mystery. Who is it from?
well, I don't know. It was it just signed with the letter J.
A J.
I don't know who that could be. I could be anyone. I dismissed the maybe Jeff. Could be Joanne. It could be Jesus, for all I know. Is there a Jesus in this world? I don't know. Well, yes.
My
Work
village
of the
is
gods.
my village is called Jorvik,
Well, no.
but I don't believe the letter came from my village.
That's a long way for a raven to fly.
Yes.
He's a big raven. Anyway, but so where I'm asking the games master. Do I know where Alden was meant to be meeting me, other than here? But
your usual stay when you're in Sandpoint is the Rusty Dragon.
okay.
It's
So
handy.
we're obviously okay. So well, I'm supposed to be meeting my brother at the Rusty Dragon. Maybe you can join me later. Have you had their sausages? Their sausages are absolutely divine.
Yes,
Oscar
I
stood
could not
devoured,
get
ate
enough
and
of their
forgot about them.
sausages.
Oh,
I love their
Tarkus.
sausages. I would be happy to go back there.
Oh, well, shall we listen to whatever these people have to say, and we can go back to the Rusty Dragon and meet Alden?
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds a good plan.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not too long and we can get drinking.
But then, just as you're kind of wrapping up your conversation, suddenly, bursting into the crowd,
Gunfire.
More fireworks.
some of them are getting really close. And then you see the kids running off again into the alleyways and all sort of laughing. You see some of the town guard chasing after them. And,
No one's lost a hand then.
You see Belor is up at the stage talking to a few of the people, official people, and just sort of takes his hat off, puts his hand over his bald head, and shakes it, puts it on, and carries on with his conversations. And then up on stage, let me try to. There we go. No, did that work? Yes. No. There we go. Not that one. So I'm just trying to switch out a thing on.
A thing for a thing.
It is.
For one night only. Print.
Yeah. Oh, that's why. There we go. Bing. Did that work? No. Bing. Bing. No. Oh, yes, that's all. That all stopped working. Okay. Not to worry.
Technology is being a
Technology.
dick.
It is,
Yeah.
as always. So, you notice a middle-aged woman steps up onto the podium, and everyone kind of hushes down. And oh, look, starting, and everyone kind of shuffles around and faces front. And you go, Tolkus is kind of head and shoulders above everyone else. You see people trying to sort of move around you as well. And she starts by saying, "Citizens of Sandpoint and welcome visitors. I see there are some faces here and over there as well who have not been here today. Thank you very much for joining us. This is the day of the autumnal equinox. As you citizens of Sandpoint know, this is the most auspicious occasion for our humble town, and we need not remind you of the late unpleasantness that befell us on years gone by. But let us not forget that those that did lose their lives in that terrible fire, they also claimed our church that stood here, and of course our beloved friend and priest Father Tobin. And but how better to honour that memory than with this new cathedral that many of you, our citizens and townsfolk, have toiled on for so many years, and I believe Father Tobin would have given his blessing to such a magnificent temple. So your work, my friends, is done, and we're here to celebrate that and mark this occasion. Today marks a new beginning for Sandpoint, a bright and prosperous future. Shortly, our very own Father Xantus will conduct the consecration ceremony later before the evening. But until then, play, have fun, enjoy, and I honestly say that I now declare that the Swallowtail Festival is open. And just at that point, there are some crates stored at either side of the podiums, and you just kind of hear loads of swallowtails just get released, and the crowd and the children all kind of shout with glee, "Yay!
Yay!
Wow! 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 Yeah!"
Let's hope the fireworks don't also go off.
1. It was a dud. But hey, so you and everyone's like, yeah, and then slowly kind of start milling about and going back to the games and the foods and the stores and everything else. And the rest of the day is yours to do with as you wish. What would you wish to do?
Professor, you promised us a pub.
I did. The Rusty Dragon awaits. Just one more thing to say, because it's personal and a moment of pride for me. Is that the only thing to survive the previous church burning down was the large handles that are used to close the doors of an evening, and my mother made those when she was Forge Master in Sandpoint, and they've mounted them on the doors here as well in the new cathedral, and I'm proud to see that. It's a good moment for me.
Oh, this
It's
is
a
a
nice
very
touch.
sweet story.
Thank you.
It's a nice touch connecting old to new.
Anyway, drink and, well, more sausages, I guess, to the gas.
Let's
Awaits.
raise a flagon to your mother.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll head off to Rusty Dragon.
Yeah.
Rusty Dragon!
Okay, so from the church square, you head south down through High Street. As you're going down the High Street, you notice all the shops are starting to close, and they're putting signs up in the windows and on the doors that closed due to a sort of festival and stuff. So all the town are kind of heading to that main part to celebrate. And then you take a right down Festival Street. You come up into another opening, and you realise that this is where the main dock loading area is, in which at that point you kind of hitch a left onto Market Street. And halfway down Market Street, it's a very well kept pub. It's obviously quite old. It's changed hands a few times. You see literally a rusty dragon just kind of squeaking on its hinges, hanging over the door plate.
How appropriate, I like it.
And as you enter the tavern, it's okay busy. There's a good amount of people. It's a apprentice space, but there's a good crowd in there. And you see Amiko is behind the bar, making sure that everyone's kind of served and being looked after and things like that. She sees you, especially Tolkus. You're quite hard to miss, and she kind of
give her a wave.
She gives you waves back and hi, yeah, find a seat and I'll be over in a minute. She kind of signs over to you, and she recognises the last one to walk in is Harrison. She goes, "Oh, Harrison, come over," and then you lot can carry over. She says, "Oh, your brother's here. He's already signed in."
Okay. Thank you, Amiko. Can I have a pint of your finest ale, please?
Yes. Do you want the usual stuff or the good stuff?
Usual stuff, please.
The usual stuff. Okay. You're buying for your table then, yes? Is this business?
Yes. I need a receipt as well. I need to claim it back.
Is it one of those?
Yes, it's a business meeting with.
Okay. Yeah. Right. And she writes it down, and there's a halfling behind the bar, and she gives it to one of the barmaids. She's like, "Yep, okay, not a problem. Usual tables. Yep."
See?
That's fine.
Halfling. You've dealt in halflings.
Yes! I thought you said you'd never dealt with halflings before, brother.
No, by trade, I mean.
I see.
trading
You mean in
goods.
trading, yes.
That's not the
Yes.
impression you gave. You gave the impression that you'd never seen a halfling before.
My
Yes.
apologies. I have not. I have seen halflings, but I've not been mostly
Not
friendly
been social.
with them, let's say.
Keep digging, brother.
Remind me sometime. I have an interesting thesis on the nobility.
Oh, tell me more.
I'd be glad to hear it.
Well, in my observations, I've never seen that much of a difference between those that have nothing and the nobility. If you observe the nobility and the way they behave, they don't appear to have any money. All they have is confidence and an air of self-importance. That unfortunately afflicts them in two ways. One, they never see anything that's in front of them. But two, for whatever reason, people are drawn and attracted to that, and they seem to be able to get away with, well, anything.
I've noticed the same thing, Professor. You are very wise.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Interesting. It
Do you
reminds
actually
me of...
have any coin, Harrison?
Yes. I
No,
have
no.
a few.
This is an empirical question. Do you actually have any coin on you?
Yes. Yes, I have coin. Which noble person would not have coin on them?
Well, I've just never seen it change hands. So it's a serious, interesting empirical question. You know, here I have this money, and I pull out 5 gold pieces. How much do you have physically on you?
2 cold pieces.
He pulls out the 2 gold pieces from his top lapel, and on his hip he pulls out and he's got a pouch of 50 gold pieces.
Interesting. Okay, I shall note that down in my book, and I
I
will
would
note
not
that
be
down in my
surprised
book.
if it's a bag of pebbles.
Yes, this is right. Your thesis. I have a very good saying for this. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. I know that you're going to have it your way or nothing at all, but I think you're moving too fast. That's the mantra that I think I have for that
That made
thesis.
no sense
Harrison?
whatsoever.
Harrison, how much
Brother,
have you
that
drunk?
sounds
Are you
like me
aware
after
that
too
is
many
bullshit?
ales.
I've only had. Well, I haven't even had any ales yet. Well, actually, I
Ales
have.
are on my brother. He is generous man. Let him buy the drinks.
He is generous, but he talks absolute nonsense.
Well, but we have observed 2 things now. We have observed he may be generous. We haven't observed that properly yet, but we have observed he has money, so he has the opportunity to prove to us that he can be generous.
Is this an elaborate plan to get him to pay for all the drinks and food, Professor?
I didn't realise I was that obvious, but yes.
It is a good plan, but I
It's a good
agree.
plan.
Shh, Tulkas.
Come on,
It
brother.
might
Let's
not work so well now.
not let down your name and buy us drinks and food and.
Well, yes, just order what you want and it will come to
Yeah.
the table, I suppose.
I'd like to turn
I-
to the barmaid at that point and order the good stuff.
The good stuff.
Elena will order something strong.
Okay,
I will have
we
the
have some
2-pint
nice-
flagon.
I see you're kind of dressed as a sailor. Do you like rum?
I love a bit of rum.
Okay,
Yes, 2
we have
pints of
some
rum.
Well, they don't come
Pints
in
of
pints,
rum.
but I'm sure we can find something. How about the Seaquest ale? I served you that at the market.
Oh, yes, that was good stuff.
Okay, 2-pint flagon. I saw you pick that one up as well.
If you have any meat, I'll have a meat chaser.
Okay, and a meat chaser. Okay.
Tolkus, just to be aware, we can't carry you anywhere. You're too big.
Well, you don't actually have accommodation at the moment, do you? And as Belor said earlier, this is a fine establishment to stay in. Dulcas, since your brother is already staying here, and it sounds like your other brother is also staying here, it would make sense to stay here as well, wouldn't it? And maybe go on the family tab.
That sounds like a good idea. If it is okay with my half brother.
Well, yes. I didn't expect other guests, but I'm a man of nobility, so I suppose I should welcome your guests, Tolkus, seeing as you are my half-brother, of course.
Well, yes. Elena is like a sister to me now. Rupp is like the ginger stepchild. And the professor is like the grumpy uncle. I like this band.
DM, what's going on around the tavern? Is there anything else that's going on?
No, it's a tavern. People have someone's trying to pick up a tune in one of the corners. Everyone's settling in for some of the food for the afternoon. Amiko announces that she was the winner of the free food tasting event, and basically, if you stay there, sort of the rest of the afternoon, you are well fed. It appears Harrison has offered to pay for your rooms, which appears to be very generous.
Very generous, brother.
Very generous.
And that's it.
I think I'd probably while stuff's going on, I'd probably I'd pull on Harrison's. I don't know. What have you got on? Like a jacket or something?
So it's very much kind of if you imagine a someone with it's like a ruffled neck,
Yeah.
with a jacket or like a dark red jacket or dark blue jacket, sorry,
Yeah.
and yeah, very very kind of noble like.
Yeah. So I'll just tug on the ruffles or whatever. Just go, hey, hey,
Yes,
where did you get all that money?
I'm a trader. I trade things. I get money.
Yeah, how do you do that?
Well, my family is quite important, so we handle goods and we trade them, of course.
Right.
And we get money for the things that we trade. So if we trade,
Yeah, but you don't make the goods.
no, we buy the goods at a lower rate, and we sell the goods at a higher rate.
So
That's
you
how
don't provide
trading
anything to
works.
society whatsoever.
Well, well, my brother Alden, he let some people in from the Varisians. He let some in Magnamar Townhouse.
Oh.
So we are a charitable bunch of people.
Oh. Okay.
But
Okay.
as far as trading goes, we like to make our money that way. Yes.
I don't understand. Like, you're not selling stuff, but you are selling stuff, but it's other people's stuff that other people have made, yeah?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, but why don't they sell it themselves?
Because we have the contacts that
Oh.
we trade. We make sure that the goods are well
Ah.
protected, of course, and we have assurances. Those people who make the goods can keep making the goods, and it becomes like a transporting system.
Okay. Cool.
At some point during this conversation, Elena's going to lean back to Amika and just go, Harrison is talking business. He needs more booze.
I'll pop up at that point and say, yes, Yelena is absolutely correct. Is the general store open, do you believe?
So
I'd like to send somebody down there to the wine cellar and get some rock gut for Harrison.
well, certainly, I'll order another round, and yes, we'll send her down to pick up something. You sure you want the rock gut stuff? It is quite
Yes,
powerful.
Yes, it'll be quite entertaining. Quite entertaining.
Okay then. And she kind of hurries off. She lays down the order, and you see the halfling barmaid run off into the cellars, or doorway. You assume it's down to the cellars. And then Amika is busy kind of putting some more drinks, put them onto order, stick them on a tray. And she brings over another bowl of. She kind of nudges past Tolkus. Here, try these. These are the. As well as all the meats, we also do potatoes. These are chilled spiced potatoes. Give them a try. Just bite them whole. They're baked. Go.
He takes one and he eats it whole and he's like, "Oh, these are good."
Very good. Secret recipe.
I like.
That
Are
moment,
you going to share any of those?
suddenly you hear, or maybe not.
Some shouting.
Yeah, it's just turning up the volume in the pub. You hear?
Silence.
There you go. Boom. That was
A fud.
a fud. So there's a boom sound resonating, not directly outside, but sort of close to outside.
Someone gave the kids the big fireworks. Who gave the kids the big fireworks? They're going to be dead.
Did everybody hear that, or was it just me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't sound good.
Can I run out the pub?
Elena's going to follow.
Yeah, Tolkus will go have a look.
Did it sound similar to like a cannon being
Whilst
fired?
everybody gets up and leaves, because it's been really irking me, I'll move all the cups so they're neatly lined up on the table, equidistant between each other and thoroughly parallel with the edge.
Somebody hasn't got OCD. Mark.
And then I'll jump down to follow.
And we will find out what all the commotion is in our first episode.
Next first, I like that.
Our next first episode. So this is our session
Because of course,
0.
if people are watching this after they've watched episode 1,
Well, episode 1 is called episode 1. This one is called episode 0.
0.
So yes, this is our session 0. This is the end of our session 0. We're gonna leave it there. We are an hour and 40 minutes. We've done pretty well. So that's just to recap. This was just to tell our stories and how our characters met. There was a finger missing.
It was the shocker. Somebody on the internet will get it. It's the shocker.
So there we go. If you know what the shocker is, put it in the descriptions of YouTube below.
I'll send you a T-shirt if you put it in the description below.
Oh, see, he's had too many
I will
beers.
buy a T-shirt and send it to anyone who puts it in the description below.
Anyone? You could be opening yourself up to quite a bit there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You might
Is
want
it
to
a
limit
quick
that.
Google away, Jeff?
Well,
While you're watching, everyone's like,
Yeah,
there's a free
Chris, if you
t-shirt.
want a T-shirt, I'll send you a T-shirt.
So remember, this is, again, just a bit of fun for the start of our campaign, to give us a kind of getting used to our characters. So join us in
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, join us in our session, first session, where we will continue the adventure live on Twitch. It'll be every Thursday from 9 o'clock UK time. That's BST currently. So also, and I'll say it quickly. Again, as always, a special thanks to Beadle and Grim for being our kind of sponsors. You can see that in the picture below regarding their Kickstarter, the Pathfinder Complete Character Chronicles. These fantastically swished looking journals. The Kickstarter starts end of September, maybe early October if it has to, but do check those out if it's not too late. If you're watching this and it's December or 2021, will you do a late pledge? Or we might be on to volume 2 by then, who knows. So, to my players, how did you find that?
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Good
Really
fun.
good.
Really enjoyed it.
So we, again, getting to know your characters, getting to know a little bit about them. We'll start finding what was going on outside the pub in our first session. So we'll hit the ground literally running, and then into, I don't know, depends what's outside. I don't know. I haven't turned the page yet. So a bit of planning to do from me. That's a joke, by the way. Of course, we are playing Rise of the Runelords, a fantastic, massive level 1 to almost level 20. We'll see what the characters do. Pathfinder campaign. This is one of their adventure paths. So we're really, really looking forward to getting this out there. As always, if you happen to have products or services you want to promote on our tables, check us out, Band of Badgers. You'll see the links on the end screen, if not the beginning screen. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Check out our other stories and our other campaigns on YouTube. Other than that, I think that's it. Are we done, guys? Are we ready for Thursday? This is Sunday we're recording this. Are we ready for Thursday?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, it's on like Donkey Kong.
It will be. You better jump some barrels, boy.
Mm.
I'm going to throw one that's on fire.
Or out of barrels. Jump out of barrels.
Jump what you did.
Yeah.
We had one
Rupp jumps out of barrels. That's his
out
thing.
of barrel experience. So yeah, glad you enjoyed it. We'll see you again soon. Right. See you later then. Bye. Bye. I got to push a button. I got 2 things going on. I got a screen over here, a screen there. I got lots of things. Right. See you later. Bye. Go watch something else. Go watch something else. Go watch my other campaigns. Bye.